All right, let's try doing this here. Hey, how's it going? It's a nice day outside. Just doing some testing here, looking into the camera, connecting. I was thinking about this concept of I, like, I think we should do this. And how much of a inaccurate word I is. Like it leads you to think that there's a single identity or a single consciousness that like I am, I think this, I like that. And that's really, I think in many cases, misleading, and it's flat out not accurate. Because we're multi-conscious. We have multiple consciousnesses. The I that I typically think I am is what we might call the current, present adult ego consciousness or adult identity. I'm Derek. I'm 52 years old. But there are a lot of other parts in my psyche, wounded children, inner children, all sorts of parts. And they have thoughts and feelings and full personalities. I mean, just as pronounced as like a person with multiple personality disorder, like United States of Tara flips from one personality to another completely. It's the same thing. We all have our inner aspects that have their own triggers and their own fears and their own desires. And those may be similar to our adult identity, and they may be very different. And those parts, some of them we pick up on their feelings and we think they're adult Derek's feelings, but they're actually the part. And these parts may be looking through our eyes or listening through our ears. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Some parts are not paying attention at times and others are. So we've got in our psyche all sorts of different things that are coming online in terms of thoughts and feelings at any moment. And it's not just a singular I am who I think I am. And when we think in terms of that, then we tend to forget about and disregard and not connect with and not check in with all of our inner children and all of our parts that need to be included, need to have a say, need to be seen, need to be loved. So a more accurate way to think and refer to ourselves would be we, because we are a family of many different complete personalities and identities in the psyche, all sort of balled up together in each individual psyche and interfacing in the world through eyes and ears and senses of one flesh being. But it's a we thing. And there's a lot more healing possible, and there's a lot more equanimity, and there's a lot more wisdom once we realize that we are a we and not an I. And in that sense, the word I tends to make us think that we are just one and not many. So it's unhelpful and erroneous. So then there's another concept, kind of across all religions, or many religions, many spiritualities, that in truth, we are, like you might say, at our core, there is a true self. In IFS, it would be called self with a capital S. Ironically, in IOPT, identity-oriented psychotrauma therapy, which is another parts therapy, they refer to it as the healthy I, which is kind of odd. But IFS refers to it as self with a capital S. And I think other spiritualities might call it your true essence or your higher self. Basically, there's the truth of who and what we are, and the core of what we are is this connection to God or to infinite consciousness or infinite love. And that's all obscured and blocked by all these other personalities and identities that keep grabbing the controls of this vehicle. And so, like, in truth, we think we're I am Derek, the 52-year-old adult male personality, but I'm not even that. That's as much of an illusion or a layer on top of the truth of what I am, as is my wounded 4-year-old that I was working with this morning, or my 1-year-old who lost his kitty. Whew, yeah, those parts are with me, and they're real. And they are parts, and the adult I that I tend to think I am is also a part, with these philosophies and attitudes, and I think this is right and I think that's wrong, and I think this, that, and the other, and you should do this and I should do that, and I want to manifest these wonderful things. And all of that I-ness is all egoic thought structures that are not the truth. And they're not loving, and they block love, and they're myopic. Like, even what we think are loving thought structures or ideas, like, I want to manifest a loving home, and I want there to be peace. And you're sitting there like thinking all these good things, and you think you're doing something good by, wanting the good, as the adult who's manifesting, thinking I'm doing good, not realizing that there's all sorts of wounded parts that I have that I'm ignoring and repressing. And instead of working with them and accepting them and loving them, I'm like, I'm going to put my attention towards creating this good, happy, healthy vision for Derek the adult in his life, when what really needs to happen is turning inwards to my wounded parts and seeing them and loving them right here, right now, in my life as it exists, with the good stuff, with the bad stuff, with the things I like, the things I don't like. All of this, a lot of our myopic thinking has us not do what is truly loving. So realizing that, the more we realize that, the more we can start letting go of these thoughts and these attitudes, and how we're going to make life better, and how we're going to make ourselves better, and how we're going to save this and help that and make a difference and all that stuff, all of which distracts from the work that is truly helpful, which is to love and integrate all these different parts, including adult self who's doing this in love, knowing that we are that love, that self, that can hold space for all of these parts. And the more space that's held, the more love that is infused into the system. That's what truly loving and healing is. And my dog wants to go outside, so I'm going to leave it at that. All right, thanks. Bye.